What's going on, guys? Kalamazi here. It's going to be my 11.2 PTR Affliction Warlock feedback video. We're going to be covering talents, hero talents, and basically all the points of feedback that, most of them at least, that I want to give, I can think of over the last day or two of brainstorming and all that, heading into 11.2 PTR. Yeah, let's just get into it here. Also, like and sub the video, helps out a ton, guys. I love y'all. Anyway, so, I want to say one thing off the bat here. First off, class tree, we're not looking at. I made a video on that already. Class tree and demonology are already up. If you want to, you can look back on the channel. Last two videos. We're going to cover both hero talents here. Now, I want to say, just off the bat, I understand some players like Unstable Affliction Spender, Aff more. My hand is raised as well. Some like Rapture more. There are differing opinions in the world, and that is okay. I think UA Spender Aff had problems that Rapture solved. Rapture has its own problems too that UA didn't necessarily have. Now, in the long run, I'd like to have a UA version of Aff, probably a little bit more, but they're not going to overhaul a whole class tree to that extent in the middle of an expansion, let alone they obviously built a lot of things around Rapture, hero talents, this and that, so forth. I'm not saying that UA won't come back next expansion. I have no idea. I'll probably make a whole video on it in alpha, beta, or later on 11.2. Be a fun wishful video to make. But for now, we're talking about Affliction, Malefic Rapture-based Affliction. Once again, UA Spender Aff was a lot of fun in a lot of ways. I fully get it. I understand. You're preaching to the choir. But I think it's important to keep feedback focused on what is happening in the game and right now and try and build the best version of that spec that we have now. And when later things happen, like a PTR or an alpha beta for a new expansion, major changes, then maybe you can talk about maybe changing things around from Rapture to UA or changing Rapture itself. I digress. Let's get into the feedback. Don't hate me. I'm just doing my best, all right? So, we're going to go through here, hitting on basically most abilities I think need to be at some points of feedback given, all that kind of stuff. Then we'll hit on hero talents at the end. Obviously, just talk about this. Is what it is. Second row here. So first off, Seed of Corruption. I think we need to remove the shard cost on Seed of Corruption and drastically increase the radius of mobs that are hit by Seed. So there are a lot of times at M+ where a pack is being pulled and you're throwing a Seed trying to set up and the tank's pulling two packs in, they're rounding it all up. I have to throw I have to wait for a long time by throwing individual agonies on mobs, or just like wait for a while in general to throw a Seed of Corruption. Because the radius, a 10-yard radius is super small, right? And there so often my Seed will pop on, a random mob, and Corruption will apply to 6 out of 8 mobs. But there's 2 over here that were running in late, and now they're here, and they didn't get Seed in them. So am I gonna wither those manually twice, or am I gonna cast another Seed, which costs another shard, and it has once again a super small radius? Two things: we need to increase Seed's radius. Super easy, it doesn't cause any problems, no big deal, just for quality of life. I think you can remove the shard cost from Seed of Corruption as well. So the Seeds, which used to be right here at the tree a while ago, is gone. Obviously, we are in a Malefic Rapture world for a single target and AoE. Now, I do get that, like, there might be a certain threshold where if you remove the cost on Seed, and you just are able to, like, throw it to apply corruptions, it does some damage. Maybe there's a world where if you're out of shards for Rapture, you rather just spam Seed for, like, the little damage that it does in mass AoE, but you could super easily tweak the damage on that where it's not relevant, and you still want to probably drain things anyways for TC procs, so on and so forth. It likely wouldn't be a case regardless, but I think removing the shard cost on Seed is actually really important for quality of life, for just setup for Affliction as well. We've all been there, like, where for whatever reason you have 2 or 3 shards, leaving a pack, not 4 or 5. You go to a pack, you throw a Seed, you're at 2 shards, it didn't hit every mob, gotta see it again, I'm at 1 shard, gotta cast Vile Taint, I'm at 0 shards. It feels terrible, right? It feels like older, just not optimized for quality life combat. Remove shard cost. If Soul of Seeds was around, definitely keep it. It's not. Make it a utility spell, more of a utility spell than it already is, and just have that be a thing. So remove shard cost and increase radius by 10 yards, double it, I think. So the Affliction tree is also the only tree for Warlock that has 2-point talent nodes. Destro and Demonology will all have 1-point nodes at every single spot in the spec tree here. Things like Dark Virtuosity and Kindled Malice, hey, obviously, like, pathing could be a little better maybe in certain areas. They don't cause a whole lot of issues. It does feel sort of weird skipping over, like, Virtuosity at certain points in times. You can just make this 1 point, you can grab both here. Maybe a little bit of an issue, give or take, but overall, I mean, they're a bigger fish to fry here. So some 2-point nodes, 2-2. In here, gate 2, I think, is where the larger issues lie with 2-point nodes and pathing in general, right? So let's hop down there. Now, You have Drain Soul and Shadow Bolt here as an option. Some play Shadow Bolt, some play Drain Soul, and plus Hellcaller, Soul Harvester, all that. It's fine. Obviously, it's a filler, whatever. However, Shadow's Embrace and Haunt. I want to get rid of Shadow's Embrace. I don't think anybody, there's not one person in the game that loves Shadow's Embrace, right? I'm sure someone's going to say in the comments they do. Yeah, throw it down there, prove me wrong. But I want to get rid of Shadow's Embrace. I want to bring back Contagion. I want Contagion to come back. Just the target that has UA on it takes 10% more damage. I know this is Contagion, but you can rename it something else. Just your UA target takes 10% more damage, or whatever it is, Shadow Embrace. Just have some passive ability, man. Honestly, it's fine. Micromanaging Shadow's Embrace, especially when it comes to like target swapping and the lack thereof, some version of soul swap to move dots or copy dots and all that. Like when a prior mob spawns in, I have to go Agony, Wither, move UA, and if I'm holding Singularity or Soul Rot and Vile Taint, do all that, then Drain Soul, then Dark Lair. It's a long string and sequence of events I don't want to deal with, right? And Shadow's Embrace just it's annoying. It doesn't really need to be there. We can just make that passive, bake it into UA, which is limited to one target. Obviously our tier set spreads 3 bits, whatever. It's limited to one target. So next tier, when this feedback's relevant again, hey, it's what the playstyle they want. One UA, make UA even more relevant, right? Make it that target that has UA on it takes 10% more damage. And get rid of Shadow's Embrace. It's just not very fun. I don't like improved Haunt and Haunt. Obviously breaking this up in Dragonflight towards the end, I think was a step back, quality life-wise for sure. Having Haunt just baseline give a stack of Shadow's Embrace was great. I think if you just get rid of Shadow's Embrace, you can just like change this to something else. Like you can make it, what was it? It was what, like what was it? Seize Vitality. What was it? The Haunt ability in Dragonflight, the one below it. Was it Seize Vitality? Seized Vitality? I don't know if it's even still around anymore. How you spell Seize? I don't even know. Seize Vitality. Wow. Yeah, sure. Do this. Yeah. It was seized. Oh, no, it wasn't this one. It was one below it. I forgot what it was. It was the one super low in the class sheet. It was Haunt, Seize Vitality, and the one below it. I think it increased the effectiveness of Haunt. It gave it like a 5% bonus additional modifier. Just do that. Make it like Haunt, and I think it was like just improved Haunt, wasn't it? Make it like improved Haunt or whatever it was, right? Just do something like that. And you can literally, it solves the issue of having the weird Shadow's Embrace no stat given without improved Haunt. Yeah, just make it improved Haunt. This increases damage and reduces cast time. Give it like a 10% damage modifier, or make this 10%, make it 15 with improved Haunt. Just do that. I forgot the build is called, but you know what I mean, from Dragonflight. Just get rid of this, make it UA passively through Old Contagion, make this increase Haunt's amplifier more. That'd be cool. As far as the rest of this row is concerned, if Sacrilege is good, you play it with Hellcaller and stuff, Dark Lair, this is all fine for the most part, until you get over to Infirmity and Vile Taint. Now listen, I don't want to harp on Vile Taint for super long here. We've talked about Vile Taint for, I don't know, it's been 3 expansions now at this point. There's got to be some quality of life increase to Vile Taint. I think there has to be, right? There's been ideas thrown around. You can, the problem is making Vile Taint 20 seconds long, or a 20-second cooldown does not solve any issues, because baseline agony is 18 seconds. So if you make this 20, like it used to be, you still have the issue of agonies expiring at 18, unless you precast agonies, pandemic them somehow, right? Now, if you cast Vile Taint into Dark Lair, he'll extend, and that will chain into the next Vile Taint, so on and so forth, but you don't have Dark Lair every single pack, right? So making it 20, honestly, doesn't really fix much. Unless you're pandemicking or extending initial agony, so on and so forth, right? Now, I think a good solution to this, there's a handful of ways you can do it. You have to make you have to either extend Agony's baseline duration to 24 and then make it 20. But I think better ways to do that are changing Infirmity. Once again, Infirmity is not played anywhere with Vile Taint. It's good with Singularity. Keep the ability around. That's our tier bonus from Aberrist, right? Very good with Singularity. I don't think anybody's played this with Vile Taint at all, ever. Make Infirmity give 2 charges of Vile Taint. You can give 2 charges of Vile Taint, even baseline. Who cares? Why not? You can also make Infirmity when Agony is applied via Vile Taint, it has double the duration, right? You can literally take Infirmity, this talent that nobody plays with Vile Taint, and solve all the issues quality of life wise with mass Agony application, so on and so forth. It is capped at 8 targets, but still getting those 8 Agonies out and maintaining them over the course of a pull and all that. the quality of life here is really needed. I don't want to harp on it too much. I will say though as well that Vile Taint needs to also apply to your target. Like whatever you're targeting when you cast Vile Taint, if it's more than 8 targets, at times it won't apply effects to that target. It'll just choose basically 8, X, it'll choose 8 targets. If it's 10 or 12 at times, your main target might not get it. You might not get that Vile Taint application. And that feels pretty bad when you're like focusing that down with things like Haunt and Shadow's Embrace and other single target based effects. So that's a bit of a quality of life thing there. Make it apply to your target, and also please just, you can change Infirmity to fix this thing. Just somehow make Vile Taint better quality of life, please. Because, it's just like, I've been playing AF recently and Plus. I really enjoy it, but man, it is a different class. If you pull in a weird way or don't have, like when you have like Soul Rot and Vile Taint heading into a pack versus not, whether it's a weird pack or a weird pull, you chain in a weird way, or it's just awkward. So please help with this somewhere. As far as this row's concerned, and we hit on this already, Malediction, Contagion, it's whatever, tuning stuff and all that. They're tuning knobs. They're played for Hellcaller and all that. There's that. Call of the Week, whatever. It's fine. 5 targets, scales, solid. Pathing here is a bit of an issue as well, we talked about, but if they change like Shadow's Embrace and or merge Haunt and just add a modifier to further increase Haunt's value here and a couple things here and there, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. You can maybe reduce some things to 1 or trim a couple talents here and there, but I think drawing general attention to this gate 2 of the tree is probably more than enough, and they'll figure that out if they deem it worthy. Moving on to the capstones here. Now, capstones are interesting because we have some solid ones. And we have many not so solid ones. Creeping Death, it's solid. Soul Rot, obviously good. TC, good. I really want TC changed back to the way it was. When you had Agony, Corruption, UA active, you could drain any mob or Shadow Bolt any mob, and it would give you a chance to get Crescendo. At this current point in time, you have to be casting Shadow Bolt or Drain Soul on the target that has Agony and Corruption and UA on it. And outside of our tier bonus, applying multiple UAs, like next tier when this is relevant, this feedback and stuff, you're going to have 1 UA again. If you've done M+, you're pulling multiple packs on it, trying to find your UA target in a pack of like 12 mobs, you're staring up the tree. Where's my UA? I don't know. I got to kick this and stun this and sap this and fear this. And it's like, dude, what is happening? I can't find this thing. It's hidden in this tree of garbage. Please, I have to have a nameplate modifier to change the color of my nameplate and highlight it and glow wingdings at me to find it. Man, please just change this back. It was one of the worst changes we had. Unfortunately, I get what they're trying to make it a bit more emphasized around single target, or I guess like prio damage with UA and things around TC, but it has not worked out. Please just make it back to what it was. And honestly, if you're moving away from having certain add-ons be able to highlight things, I think they might have mentioned nameplates and played around things. I'm not really sure. Godspeed trying to find this thing, with add-ons and a patch or two. Just give up if you're in mass AoE. So please change this back. That'd be a huge quality of life increase as well. So yeah, Soul Rot, CD fine. So when it comes to Xavius Gambit, or Xavius Gambit, it's being played now because of our tier bonus, increasing unstable affliction damage. When our tier bonus is gone, and this is when it's gone and the UA damage increase is removed, you're not guaranteeing spreading UAs and increasing damage with Dark Glare, Xavius Gambit is not going to be played again. It'll be worse. You end up playing, I think we were playing Dark Harvest, I'm pretty sure, over it. In single target, guys, this is an AoE ability. We shouldn't have to play this over it. We shouldn't be playing an ability that gives me crit and haste per target hit by Soul Rot at 4% over what is a single target based ability. We need to buff UA, figure that out. Buff Gambit, buff UA. It's more of a tuning thing that might happen, later on in PTR, but still, this needs to be looked at a bit. So there's that. Malignancy, it's fine, whatever, all that. I've hit on, once again, a million times. Perpetual instability can just be this. Make it Cascading Calamity. Wow. Make it this. Make it Cascading Calamity. This ability is great. This is one of the coolest Azure traits we had for a really long time. Casting UA on your target, on a target, affected by UA, increases your haste by X for 15 seconds. So it's basically a passive buff you maintain. It's great. When it hit Pandemic, essentially, if you cast UA to refresh, you would get a haste buff. You just maintained it permanently. It actually made AF feel really fluent, really smooth, and gave a bit of a little bit of a check in skill set, or skill ceiling, I guess. Skill ceiling, I guess, when it came to playing AF in single target. Even the AoE too, right? It was just a fun ability to have, right? This is just, I don't know. The cast time reduction on Unstable Affliction, when you have, I think it's pretty low for me already. I know that with this talent, it brings the cast time below the GCD. So it's literally irrelevant there, unfortunately. It's just too fast to even cast a spell after it, right? And the damage that it deals, like, it has Cascading Calamity-esque effects by refreshing UA with 8 seconds left on it, but the damage it does is just subpar. Like, we need to buff the damage a crazy amount, and or do something else to it. Realistically, just Cascading Calamity would be a lot better. But yeah, the cast time thing and all that needs to be looked at. Malign Omen's great. Please keep it. Love it. Good ability here. Relinquish feels like it could be somewhere else in the tree. Like, I would like Relinquish somewhere up here. Toss Relinquish. Yeah, put this thing here. Put this here. Get rid of Shadow's Embrace. Make this buff and haunt more, and you're fine. Relinquished was, I think, up here in the tree somewhere. I think it was in this row or this spot here early in Alpha for War Within. It was put down here. And, like, people see shard generation. Like, oh, Aff needs this really bad. Let's go. You know, and, like, it does help. But it's not going to take the gameplay from being like, you know, feast or famine at times. You're playing it right or wrong to like being super smooth. But it does feel like an ability, depending on tuning, that you want in the earlier to mid part of the tree. As a capstone, this modifier is not good. It's not played anywhere. It needs a substantial buff, so realistically, just to be higher in the tree. It feels like it could be it's a spell and talent that helps with, like, the baseline way Affliction functions. Something you should probably take early on. Probably somewhere up here in these early rows here, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't plus C play here. Withering Bolt, I mean, these are fine. Tuning wise, whatever, it is what it is. Malefic Touch, Ravenous, I mean, it's just played for Soul Harvest or not Hell Color. It's fine, whatever. I mean, like, obviously tuning is whatever. They might have to buff and nerf things later on, depending where it's at. This is more like you know, rotational stuff and all that in this video. Heading back to this row here, when it comes to Dark Harvest, we talked about it. I mean, it's great. AoE, love it and all that. The fact that we play it in single target, though, outside of like Xavius' Gambit this tier, is really bad. It does not need to be nerfed at all. We need to buff our other abilities to make them better in single target. So, speaking of that, Death's Embrace. I mean, this is fine. I guess it sees some play in certain areas. I'd love older Death's Embrace back that we had in was Legion, where when a target, I think, hit 35% health or whatever, it was mostly your dots and your Drain Soul and things started doing more damage, a little bit more. It was like 1%, 2%, 3%. It would increase the lower the target went, and it was like, I think it was like 50% or something crazy, 30%, 40%, when it was like sub 10% health, the target. This is just a 10% increase overall, which is closer than it may seem to old Death's Embrace. It's a flat increase, you know, when the moment the mob's below 35, it's 10% more from all the way from 35 to 0 versus like a ramping effect. But still, the older one was cooler, but it's a little bit of a, I'd like that more kind of thing. This is fine, I guess. I wouldn't mind it buffed a bit more, honestly, but whatever, it is what it is. And we have Oblivion. Oblivion needs some serious help, man. Oblivion, I feel like Oblivion's counterintuitive. It plays against what Affliction is, when it's pooling shards for rapture windows and putting dots up and all that. It's sort of a weird cooldown. Doesn't really align with things a whole lot either. And I mean, like, you've got 45-second Singularity, which should probably just be a minute at this point, honestly. You've got Dark Lair being 2, you've got Sorop being a minute. This is 45. It's sort of clunky. It feels like how old Demonology did when you had Grimoire being desync from Tyrant and Vital Fiend being weird and Dogs being weird, and they fixed all that. I think with Oblivion, if you want, probably make it like 1 shard, honestly. The shard cost is weird. I don't like 2 shards on it, but there's so many cool things you can do with Oblivion. Make it like Void Torrent. Make it an ability like when you channel it, maybe you can channel it on the move. That'd be cool. Maybe when you channel it, you know, it like freezes your dots or snapshots them and makes them have a longer duration. So like you want to cast during your Dark Lair, so it sort of builds upon what your other cooldowns are, like Singularity and Vile Taint and Soul Rot being cast with Dark Lair, not being counterintuitive in a sense, where, oh, I want to pop this with my other dots like Singularity and Soul Rot, but I got to spend 2 shards to do it. I want to spend shards to Rapture instead at that point, and it's like, you know, I guess theoretically you don't want to do that either because it's capped at 3. It's capped at 3 targets, 30%, but it feels like you should spend it with other cooldowns, like Malevolence and so on and so forth. It's very clunky. Make it an ability that, like, whenever you cast it, it maybe has your dots tick 100% faster, so they tick twice as fast, and it complements other abilities. Make it like 1 shard or 0 shards, and so that means like you want to cast this during your Dark Lair window because you're gonna have Singularity up and Soul Rot up and Dark Lair out. So like you Dark Lair, do whatever, maybe dump all your shards, except for 1, then you go Oblivion, and it has all your dots like, you know, flare up and not like tick down like duration wise twice as fast, but like just tick twice as fast during that window. That'd be super cool. Do damage on its own. Maybe it extends dot's duration. Maybe it's castable on the move. There's a million ways you can spin Oblivion. It's super cool, but super bad right now. There's so much potential with Oblivion. Out of all the talents in the tree here, Oblivion has probably the most potential. It could be super cool, but it is just dead. It is nowhere near competitive. So that is that. Now, like, obviously I talked about the start once again, skipped over it, watched the very start of this section. I know some people like UA-based Affliction more than Rapture-based Affliction. I get that, I understand. Unfortunately, UA-based Affliction, like UA Shards Vendor Affliction, I should say, is not something very realistic when it comes to like a mid-expansion patch, right? Maybe for a new expansion, they look at saying, hey, Rapture isn't working out. Maybe we go back to it. Maybe we can find a way to make things work. But this video is focused on basically the Rapture-based version of AF we have now. I like UA Spender AF a little bit more. It had problems as well. It had problems of its own that Rapture fixed, and Rapture brought its own problems along. It's how it works. Nothing's perfect, right? But I'm focusing on Rapture-based AF and the version of AF that we have right now, in this video and everything. Now, when it comes to hero talents, sorry if a Soul Harvester here, I already have it up. Honestly, like, they both feel, I think, pretty good for Affliction. They both have their own identity. Soul Harvesters have a bit more of like an upfront kind of profile where you put up your dots and then begin rapturing. When you cast Soul Rot, your Shadow of Death gives you 3 shards, which feels insane for Affliction. 3 shards being generated for AF are infinitely more relevant than for Demonology with Tyrant and playing Soul Harvester, right? They're all succulent, which increase rapture damage. So on fights where ads spawn fast, you can like, pop CDs like Vexy or Rick or whatever, even like sometimes Sticks, right? And just blast things down with like raptures being amplified by these shards. Super strong. And you have Hellcaller, which gives the Wither damage profile, right? How can I change this? There we go. Which gives the Wither damage profile. Spread dots, very, very strong dot effect. Malevolence minute cooldown feels very, very good as well. 2 different damage profiles, but actually both feel pretty good for the spec. I'd say out of all 3 specs in general, AF, Demo, and Destro, AF probably has the 2 most like functionally built, I guess, hero talents, if that makes sense. They both feel good. Now, a couple things I want to hit on. I mean, this is all like Shadowbolt Nightfall amplifications for the most part, and all that, whatever. I mean, there really isn't like a whole lot, but one thing I do want to hit on is just how good casting Soul Rot and getting shards is with Shadow of Death for Soul Harvester. Like, Affliction shard economy obviously is a bit of RNG. You can generate shards with agony ticks or drain souls being cast on a mob when a mob dies, or UA on mobs also when they die. Our tier bonuses tier spreads UAs, so you get, if like multiple targets die with your tier bonus active, you get a bunch of shards back. That feels great. I've been playing Shadowbolt and M+ over Drain Soul. It feels phenomenal with this tier set, right? I played it last year without it. Felt a lot worse. This is more like wishful thinking. Maybe it's like a general, I'd like this for Affliction. Man, if we could find a way to get this 3 shard like generation ability into the actual class tree itself here, that would feel so good. I'd trade 3 shards for Malign Omen. I love Malign Omen. I don't want to do this, but like, if there's any way we can get like Shadow of Death in the baseline Soul Rot row, like I wouldn't even mind bumping Dark Harvest over to Soul Harvester. I mean, Dark Harvest, you're harvesting. Harvest. Sure, let's do it. I don't care. Like, dude, obviously, like, it'd be a bit different for Demonology. You got to keep that in mind because both share this tree, right? But man, like, if we could just find a way to get Shadow of Death shard generation in Soul Rot's row, and it went like Soul Rot, Malign Omen, Shadow of Death, or like just Soul Rot, Soul Rot, whatever. You can even put this here, the shard gen thing, and then have like Malign Omen or the shard gen part in number 3 here. Man, it would smooth out so many problems for AF. It would feel so much better to play. Knowing that you have those 3 shards like on demand at M+ when you pop Soul Rot, or even in rating, feels so good. I'd love to have that. Besides that, though, I mean, like I said, Soul Harvester feels fine for the most part. You can tune certain things here and there, whatever. I mean, it's fine, but they're 2 different damage profiles, right? Similarly, when it comes to Hellcaller, honestly, Wither feels great. You play it on a decent bit of fights as tier Mythic. I mean, we played it on just Bandit for a while. I think it's a bit more Destro now, but regardless, feels good. Plays it in plus, or you play it in plus over Soul Harvester a good bit. Wither is just really strong. Feels great. Good dot effect, all the above. Its synergies with Malevolence and Black and Soul, that feel really good to play as well. It's just solid. I will say, this is more of a Hellcaller thing in general. Can we please get this off the GCD? There have been so many times where I have gone to like Infernal or Dark Lair or whatever and hit Malevolence, like just hit it. It's bound on my mouse. I hit like 9 on my mouse and I hit it and I look over like 10 seconds later and it's still off CD waiting to be hit. Because I hit it after my Dark Lair, after my Infernal, after X, and it's on the GCD. Can we please take it off the GCD? It feels super clunky. Like it's a great ability and I love it. But can we take it off the GCD, please? It feels so clunky. But yeah. As far as hero talents are concerned for Affliction, man, I think Hellcaller and Soul Harvester are actually pretty good for the most part. Tuning can be done, obviously, in certain areas. But overall, I think it's fine. There might even be a few bugs still with these. I don't remember exactly if they still are or aren't, give or take. But yeah, I think it's solid overall. Most of my points of feedback lie in the actual Affliction tree, tuning-wise, some pathing stuff, and just honestly, I think the biggest thing with Affliction, my hair is weird right now. It's just quality of life. You know, I obviously target swapping, soul swap, something like that would be great too. We had it in Dragonflight towards the end, lost it. It wasn't really played in a whole lot of fights, 1 or 2. I think I played it on Naimu, the big green lady in the wall and stuff. Prio target swapping is also an issue for AF, and I don't know a great way to fix that. Without bringing back like old soul swap or a new version of it and stuff. And honestly, that might just sort of be how it is. I don't know. Honestly, maybe you tie Oblivion into it. Maybe you say if you Oblivion a target, it still makes dots flare up and all that. If they have no dots on them, it throws all dots on them. That's a great way to do it too, maybe. Or you can definitely fix all the issues that AF has, I think, pretty easily. It just needs like a patch of attention. And like realistically, I think some people still like UA Spender AF more. I get it. Raise my hand, here I am. I think it's important to focus feedback on things that are in the game currently and things that are realistic coming up for a new patch. I don't think a complete spec overhaul from the ground up that affects hero talents and everything else going back to UA Spender AF is going to happen in 11.2. So I think keeping feedback relevant and on point and trying to get the best version we can right now is important. But I will say, if a lot of these issues were addressed with quality of life for AF, I think even the people that don't love Rapture-based AF would like it a lot more. So thanks for watching, guys. My hair is all over the place. I'm not fixing it. That's all right. Wraps it up. Hopefully you enjoyed the feedback on Affliction and all that heading into patch 11.2. I mean, it's not out yet. I assume we get PTR in 2 or 3 weeks, but I want to get feedback rolling pretty early. Just so I don't feel like I left anything out or I was too late on it. I don't work for Blizz, nothing like that. I don't know if they even watched these videos and stuff. I hope they do, because I enjoy playing the game, obviously. But either way, I want AF to be fun, or as fun as it can be. I do think this is a pretty good version of Rapture-based AF. Probably the best we've seen ever, actually, of Rapture-based AF. But there's still some areas it can be improved in and all that. And hopefully, maybe if we get feedback out early enough, this will help even more. If you guys want any week warriors, add-ons, and profiles that I use, links to Twitch, Twitter, and my Discord up here. We're going up there, as well as down below in the video description. And like every video, a massive thank you to my patrons and supporters on Patreon, y'all. Thank y'all a million times. Like always, I greatly appreciate it. And PTR is not out yet, obviously, but whenever it does, you know, the 11.2 spreadsheet, like normal, will be up on Patreon for early access if you want it, under the tier 3 Felguard rank or higher. But yeah, that's basically that. I'm excited for AF. I'm excited for 11.2 in general. I'm hoping that we get some changes. 11.1 was pretty sad when it came to lock stuff, albeit we got a lot of attention in alpha and beta, so it makes sense. But I think after giving us a patch of cooking or two, you know, all that, we could use a little bit of help here and there, some quality of life stuff. And obviously, unless next raid is exceptionally niche like this one is, Liberation of Undermine, we're gonna need some pretty big buffs probably across the board. So we'll see where it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, like and sub, helps out a ton. And I'll catch y'all again soon. Peace.